that way if somebody wants to do a class later, then they'll have a recording of it and they can do it at their leisure. And to me, that's the beauty of having the YouTube page, is for people who have something come up, maybe they just didn't feel up to it. Maybe they had a doctor's appointment, because things do happen where you can't, make it to class every time, but you still want to do it. Also, even if you come to class, you may want to rewatch a part, and on YouTube, you can very easily rewind and fast forward to certain parts to hear what you want to hear. So I don't know if you've taken advantage of it, or the Tai Chi tutorials. They're on your Claris. Also, since it's just us, the Claris tablet, are you enjoying the daily, I think, what's today? Trivia Tuesday?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying daily things?
Yeah. I try to get every one of them.
I got the answer right this morning. I was like,
I did too.
was yours about
mine was
feeling?
What was the phrase that this man, anyway, it was the thinker.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we have gathered that everybody gets something different.
Is that right?
Because mine was about who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, maybe. Anyway, it was Michelangelo. And so that's cool that we have different questions so that we can share if necessary.
Well, I remembered the statue where the guy was propped there thinking. Yeah. I couldn't remember his name. But when they had the thinker up there, I said, oh yeah, that's him.
That's really cool. I mean, it helps us kind of like push our brain to think of something we might know, but other times I already know I don't know it, but it's cool to be able to learn. And then my other favorite one is the Throwback Thursday, when they have different music, and it will give.
I like that too.
Yeah,
I enjoy that.
Yeah, that one is really good. Anyway, those tend to be my favorite, and I like it. It's cool every day. It's something new and different. So keep enjoying your Claris, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help make it better for you.
I wanted to ask you on the games, because I'm enjoying the games very much.
Very good.
What happens? I've got on the jigsaw puzzles, and every time I do something that is a good achievement, they'll go to an ad.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it's supposed to do?
Well, that's probably what it does, since it's free.
Oh, okay.
Is it annoying?
Yes, very much. Because once I do that part, I'm really into it then. And it disrupts my mind.
That's right. I am gonna make a note to say, is there one without ads, because we don't know unless we get y'all's feedback, because I don't do the jigsaw puzzles. When I play the games, I think I play probably Candy Crush or some kind of word scramble game.
There's a word scramble on it.
I think it's, hold on. Yeah, words. Is it word scramble?
Word scramble. There's a word scramble and there's a word scrambler, I think.
There's word scramble. It's not that one. Word stacks. That's the one I like.
What?
Word stacks. It's on the second page.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, some of them that says the advisor has not administered you to be able to go there.
Really?
That, in other words, I was assuming that Claris didn't allow us to not look at those, but play them.
Do you know which ones? Let's see. I'm gonna click on one.
No, there's several, because I've went to several, and of course there's some that I'm not sure how to play, and I thought it might give me some instructions, but they don't.
I felt like that on some of them too, where I'm like, okay, I forget which one it was. This wasn't Tetris, but it was, let's see, Bubble Breaker. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I can sit here and move stuff around, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know what the purpose of the game is. You get points, you know, when you finish one, but I don't know what the purpose is, other than moving your finger and knowing to make it in pairs. At least it would have to be in pairs.
Next time you come across one that won't let you play, if you don't mind, jot it down and send me a message and let me know which one it is, because I'll tell them to check on it.
Okay.
Because it may be some kind of glitch. I know.
There's another thing too. I talked to one of my sisters from church, and I was telling her about this, and she said she's in her 80s. She said, "Well, I don't have a problem with falling, but my sister does." And so she doesn't know about it, and I don't know if she'd be interested or not. But can she call you?
Oh, absolutely. Have her call me, because we talked about purchasing more of the Claris tablets. We only got 10 to start with, and we've given all 10 out. And but we've talked about more. We know that there's more people out there that would be interested and eligible and could definitely benefit it from for whatever reason. I mean, even the person that doesn't have problems with falls can get benefits from Tai Chi. I mean, it can be kind of a stress relieving time. It can help with mobility and flexibility. It can help because you're strengthening your muscles, which is one of the benefits. It can help decrease pain that you get from arthritis, specifically in your weight-bearing joints, your hips and in your knees. And the biggest thing that I think it has taught me is body awareness. Now, yes, I love Tai Chi because I can suddenly have a time where I can slow down. But the biggest thing is body awareness, because I think I've told you this before, where used to, if I would be teaching a class, I had a habit of standing like this. So all on this leg, and I have this hip popped out. And so that's not good on my hip. That's going to start causing me pain in my hip. So I started being aware of when I'm standing and talking, not just teaching a class, but talking to people, widen my stance and put my weight on both legs. Has taught me that, to set my body up in a way that doesn't cause pain. Another thing is, I'll catch myself, it's usually at my desk or when I'm driving. I'll catch myself having tension in my shoulders and in my neck. And so I'm aware of that. I go ahead and check myself, and then I'll relax that. And that keeps me from having pain, specifically like tension headaches. So even if you don't have problems with falls, you can still get benefits from Tai Chi. And so if you don't have falls, or if you don't have a fear of falling now, or if you don't have problems with balance now, if you do Tai Chi, then quite possibly you cannot have problems down the line, because you set yourself up. That's what I'm always telling myself, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound
of cure.
So
I agree.
We're trying to go with prevention here. But if you're already there, if you're already having problems with balance, don't beat yourself up. what's done is done. You can't go back to 40 years old and try something different. That's just not how life works. So
Yeah.
you do what you can now. And you say, okay, well, I do have problems with tripping over things or, losing my balance. So what can I do? Well, first, kind of do a scan everywhere you go to make sure that there's nothing in the floor that you could trip over. Any type of rugs, throw rugs, make sure they're secured to the floor with that sticky tape or a sticky mat, making sure they don't have like some rugs are like super thick and it's almost like something to trip over. There's like a whole lip,
Yeah.
they'll have like fringe on it, and that's something that you can trip over. So set yourself up to not fall by changing your environment. If you have stairs in your house, inside or outside, have rails to be able to hold on to. Ideally, you could hold on rails on both sides of your stairs. That's for safety. Obviously, you don't want cords, you don't want clutter. I can't tell you how many times I've put stuff on the stairs of my house to say, I'll take that upstairs later. And that's
Yeah.
something that could be a fall hazard. So setting yourself up in your home, specifically in your home, and I say that because that's number one, the environment we pretty much have control over. We can't help what's in Walmart.
Right.
But two, the majority of falls happen in our homes, and it's because that's where we're most comfortable.
Right.
That's where we let our guard down. That's where we put our stick to the side. That's where we put our walker down. And that's why we fall more, is because we let our guard down, and it usually happens in our home. So lots of good things out of Tai Chi for any level. But when we do our Tai Chi, we have the option of sitting. We have the option of standing. And then the middle ground is standing, but having a chair. So I can use this chair, fold it out in front of me, and be able to hold on to it, skipping the hand movement because it's more important for me to hold on to the chair than to do, the hand movement. I have to think about what's most important is this weight shifting, which is one of our principles. Transferring weight from one leg to the other is what is a big our ability to do that is an indicator of our falls risk. So if you can easily hold your weight on one leg, if you can easily hold that other leg up and stand like a flamingo, my risks of falling are pretty low if I'm able to do this. That's high level. But just being able to shift the weight, even if you leave that foot flat on the floor, having all the weight off of it, that helps train our bodies to be balanced as we move out and about. So there's options and choices that we make so that we're setting ourselves up for safety, but at the same time, getting the improvements that we want from the program. So that's a lot of talking, but it's good information nonetheless.
Yes, it is.
So I just want to remind you from time to time why we do this. Because I might say it the first class and I might not say it for a while. All the benefits that we get. I try to always refer back to principles because no matter what we do, if we're doing it with our principles, then we're going to get the benefits. So if I'm just walking in the grocery store, but I'm using upright posture, I'm mindful of my weight transference as I put my placement out there, I'm going to get benefits because I'm following principles that I have learned through Tai Chi. So it carries over into the real world, even when we're not doing such as commencement, single whip. The movements lead us there, but we can do it through principle doing any kind of movement. So let's start by just warming up our bodies, kind of walk around the room, open and close our hands, pumping our arms. and just getting our bodies ready to move. We always want to move when our bodies are warm, because if not, it increases our chance of injury. And of course, that's what we're against. We're trying to avoid injury here. So just getting our bodies ready for movement. And then we're going to go through our warm-up stretches. Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions or you need any clarifications on each movement. But we do 2 for our neck, 2 for our shoulders, 2 for our spine, our hips, knees, and ankles. So those are our major joints in our body. All right, so let's start by getting that good, nice, stable stance. Our feet are about hip width apart. Our weight is on both legs. We have a nice upright posture. It's like a string that pulls up and down at the same time. As we move, our goal is to move slow, smooth, and continuous. And we'll get better and better with that as the weeks go by. So for our neck, we bring our hands up towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. Come back up, chin to chest, push away, and follow those hands all the way down. One more. Our other neck exercise starts out the same way. Then let's drop one hand to our hips and follow the other as we move towards that shoulder, back to front, and switch hands. Stretching that neck. You don't have to go as far as you can go. Just go until you feel a slight stretch. The more you do this, the more flexible your neck will be, and you'll have more mobility, especially as you drive. Looking over that shoulder to make sure you can safely switch lanes. Now let's roll our shoulders. Oh, I got Mr. James coming in. Linda. Hey, Mr. James. Oh, he's on mute. So we're rolling our shoulders forward and back. Rolling and back. Did you have any problems getting on, Mr. James?
No, I forgot it was Tuesday, and I looked over and I saw the message on my. I swear I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was Tuesday.
I said earlier to my boss, "Yep, tomorrow's Tuesday." Like I wasn't doing all the Tuesday things today.
Yeah.
He said tomorrow's Wednesday, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Miss Linda, I told you my brain isn't working very good, huh? All right, grab our ball. Let's separate heavens and earth, stretching that spine vertically. Come back to our ball and switch. Don't forget to breathe as you go from side to side. I like to inhale as I come to my ball and exhale as I separate. That to me just helps me get a deeper stretch. But whatever works good for you, as long as you're breathing. Now let's come back to our ball and take it for a ride, side to side. Slow, smooth, and continuous, reminding myself as I started to feel like I was getting in a little bit of a hurry. Just being aware of our movement, that's a good thing. Body awareness is what I was telling you. I learned so much from Tai Chi, of just thinking of how I'm holding my body through the day. All right, for our hips. I'm gonna back up a little so you can see my feet. Shift the weight, heel forward, hands back. Pause and toe back, hands forward. Keeping our body upright, not leaning into the weight shift or leaning the direction of that stable leg.
I'm losing my balance and trying to watch you.
This one right here, it really does start challenging our balance because we are holding our weight on one leg. So in this case, try this. You know, that time I kept my weight on this one leg, and I call this a leg swing, but I did that leg swing. I did that 3 times in a row. So the whole time, this leg is starting to go, ah, can you give me a break? So instead of doing 3 in a row, try this, where you shift the weight, then do 1 heel and toe, then come back to center, shift, and then do the other leg, heel, pause, and toe. That gives that stable leg a break. So try that and see if that works better for you. That gives you more opportunities to practice weight transfer because you do it each time. The way I did it first today, holding that weight on one leg as I did the 3 leg swings, that practices endurance. So they're both valuable. So if holding that weight for a long time on one leg is an issue, try where you shift the weight more often. Shifting the weight is part of what helps get those muscles stronger. And then test yourself on the endurance, doing it several times in a row. So that is one way to make a different choice.
Is that heel front and toe back?
Yeah, when your heel is forward, your heel is here. Or when your leg is forward, your heel is on the ground and your toes kind of up in the air. And then whenever you put your toe back, it's not straight back, it's out at an angle. That I like to think of it as a kickstand on a bike. Because if the kickstand on your bike went straight back, your bike would fall over. Yeah. But the kickstand goes out. So your leg is back. From the side, it looks like that. It's not here, it's out, but it's behind your stable leg foot. Also remember, you can hold onto your chair and skip this hand movement.
I think that's what's getting me mixed up, is doing my hands and my feet at the same time.
Well, the hand movement is a counterbalance. So when one is back, your hands are forward, and then when your toe is forward or your heel is forward, your hands are back. So that's a counterbalance that keeps everything from being forward, so you follow forward, or keeps it all from being back, and then you may fall back. So it's opposite for the sake of a counterbalance, but the hand movement, for the sake of this movement, is not important. It's not most important. So if you have your chair and you want to go, hold on to my chair while I heel, pause, toe. So I'm pausing in the middle. The leg part, because this movement is for your hip, the leg part is what's most important. I'm holding on with one hand so you can see what my leg is doing. But you can do it holding with 2 hands too, if your chair will accommodate you. This chair has a bar in the middle, so I can't put my foot up too far, which I wouldn't want to anyway. So don't worry if you need to skip the hand movement for the sake of safety, because that's not what's most important. It's your leg. Same thing with this one right here. You can still hold on to your chair, skip the arm movement, but the other one for our hip, we stack our hands and we shift. And then the goal is that the foot we remove the weight from, we tap it out. That's our goal. Shift, lift, and tap. That's a lot to ask of us, especially if we have problems with balance, to lift that foot and tap it out. We'll skip that part, shift. All my weight's on this leg, but I'm too scared to lift this foot and tap it out to the side, but there's no weight on it. Shift. Now there's no weight on this leg. That's that next step. Do that. Do that. Work on muscle strength. Work on growing that muscle. Work on you feeling more comfortable before you lift and tap. Or take your chair. Hold on. Forget the hand movement. Shift. Tap. See, I feel more comfortable letting my chair hold me a little bit, taking that toe out. So there's you some options with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just a choice that's for your safety, and we always want to think safety first. Take your time, and then every now and again, check yourself and go, hey, I think I might can lift it up just for a second, but I'm going to put it back down. Try that a few times, and then let that ride for a while, and then before you know it, you go, well, I'm going to have this chair close. Here, let me have it close. I'm not touching it, but it's there just in case. Okay, I did it. See? So always put yourself in a position to be able to support yourself and do it in a safe way. All right, so then, and it gets complicated whenever we get to our lower body because of that. Because our goal is to be able to be balanced. So if we're in an unbalanced way now, it's going to take us a second. We're not going to get it class 1 or even class 7. It takes time. The next movements are for our knees. So we have loose fist down here by our hips or wherever we can hold our hands where we don't have tension in our shoulders. Again, you can hold on to your chair. You can sit in your chair and skip the arm movements. But we do shift the weight and we lift, and this time we tap forward and punch that opposite hand. So, you know, just now we were tapping out, now we're tapping forward. Shift, lift, tap and punch. So you may have some of those instabilities there as well. Shift, lift, tap and punch. And continue to breathe. It's always easy to hold your breath whenever you're trying something that's challenging.
Yes, it is.
I always catch myself holding my breath in the middle of trying to do something that challenges me. All right, now let's shift. Now let's step. Now we're going to shift weight to this front leg. Not all of our weight. We're going to keep that back leg on the ground. We're going to shift as we punch. We're going to bring it back, feet side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch. Bring it back, feet side by side. So we have a lot of weight shifting going on here. We're shifting front and back, and we're shifting side to side. So you can see how this movement would be very beneficial for our balance and help improving our muscle strength, but it can be in the same way challenging because of it too. So just take your time with it and do what you need to do to protect yourself. Next is for our ankles. We don't have any hand movements for those, but we shift our weight and we go heel toe. So we're rocking that foot, heel toe. Heel toe. And then let's big toe, little toe. So side to side. Bring the foot back, shift, little toe, big toe. Excuse me. All right, so those are our warm-up moves. Like I said, we use principles throughout those, so we get benefits from Tai Chi by doing that. All right, basic 6. So remember, with commencement, our hands, because when I turn around, you can't see my hands. Our hands face each other the whole time. When they come up and down, in, up, out, and back in. Remember, we keep song joints, or S-O-N-G, open joints, and we don't go out. We don't lock our joints. We keep that soft bend. Even though we're out, we're not all the way out. Just remember that as you do commencement. So that part you can't see when I turn around. The part you can see is that I shift right, I step left, shift left, and bring that right foot forward. So it's a step forward led by our left foot. So when we start, we bring our hands up. We come down as we shift right. We step left, bring those hands in and up. Now we shift left, bring the right foot forward, and our hands come back. I hope you can feel the rhythm of that movement to where when you shift right, sorry, mirror image, when you shift right, your hands come down. So your weight is going down to that one leg as your hands come down. Then when I step, now I'm going to shift the weight to my left foot as my hands go out. So see, the weight shift goes forward to that front foot, and at the same time, my hands go out. And if you can make that connection with the movement, then you're going to really start feeling the power of the Tai Chi movement when you connect the hands and the feet. And I know that's not easy because it's something new and different. So we can only get better at it if we practice. And after we finish that commencement, remember we have that open and close where it's a breath. We inhale and exhale. The inhale makes our hands open. The exhale makes our hands close. So let's do those movements and commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. You got it. Let's do it one more time. Commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as our hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. We shift left, we step right. Push our hands out, turn our hands away from us. Now separate both hands, but our eyes and head follow that left hand. So right there, you should feel a nice stretch in your neck. You should feel some stretch in your back or your shoulder blades. You should feel your chest really opening up in that movement. Make sure you continue to move that right hand even though you're not looking at it. So I know, out of sight, out of mind, but try to remember to continue to move both hands out so you get the full benefit of that movement. So let's add it to the top and commence. Up, down, step, bring it up, shift as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand, but don't forget the right. Shift left, bring that right foot back and our hands down. And that starts us or gets us ready for waving hands and clouds. But let's go ahead and do the single whip to the other side. So we first do single whip and waving hands and clouds to the right, and then we'll do it to the left. And we do it in that order. We do a single whip and waving hands and clouds, come to the middle for open and close, single whip, waving hands and clouds. So that's the order, but let's experience it both ways. So first we're going to the right, where we shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand, shift left, bring that right foot back. All right, come back to center. Now let's single whip the other way. We shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, this time following that right hand. Those are our two single whips. The foot that you step out with is opposite of the hand that you follow on the whip. If that can help you remember, because I know I've made the mistake of pushing my hands out, turning, and then going, uh-oh, which hand am I supposed to follow? It's also the hand that has the furthest to go. Why does it have further to go? Well, because you're turned at that angle. So when you step out, it turns your body naturally to the same angle as the foot. So here you are. This hand only has this far to go for single whip. This hand has the big distance over there. Boom. Opposite of the foot that stepped out. The other single whip is just opposite. Shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. So those are our two single whips. Are y'all good with that movement?
So far.
Yep.
Waving hands and clouds. So I'm trying to get us to the point where we can start learning some advanced stuff. Mr. James, I know you're familiar with it, but that doesn't mean we're going to be experts in our basics.
That's right.
It's just good to challenge ourselves and introduce you to it. You might go, oh wow, I really like play the lute, and you have fun with some of those. And so I like to be able to introduce it to you, but I don't have expectation that we're all masters here. So don't worry about that. So waving hands and clouds is Tai-Chi walking to each side. The first time we do it to the right, the second time we do it to the left, and both times they follow the single whips. So the footwork is I step out right, shift, step left, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, and step. So I'm just walking sideways, putting that foot out there, then shifting, and then step, then shift, then step. So I'm walking sideways, slowly but surely. Then I'm going to wave hands and clouds to my left. After that single whip, I step out left, shift, step right, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. Don't feel like you have to exact copy the amount of space that's in my feet, because it's different for all of us. If you're a taller person, you're gonna your steps may be bigger than my steps. I'm a short person. So play around with the width of your steps and where do you feel stable? Because I know if I put my feet real close together, then I don't feel very stable. I know if I step out too far, it's not that I'm not stable, but I have a hard time moving another time. So I have to essentially kick off with that foot that I'm trying to move, kick off. And so my goal is to find the amount of space between my feet as I step where I still can lift that foot up off the ground and my base is still wide enough to where I feel stable. And so practice that and see what feels naturally stable for you. You'll feel it whenever you have to kick off if you're too wide. And if you get too close, then you may feel a little wobbly. But you figure it out by just walking sideways. And that's the step, shift, follow step of waving hands and clouds. Step, empty step. Now give it weight. Follow step, empty step. Now give it weight. Step, empty step. Now give it weight. Follow step, empty step. Now give it weight. So an empty step just means that I put my foot out there and I didn't give it any weight. Empty step, then give it weight. Empty step, then give it weight. Empty step, then give it weight. So that's Tai Chi walking sideways. And that's what we do in waving hands and clouds. Hand work. So the hand work is just like, well, it's not just like, it's very similar to our spinal warm-up where we're holding our ball and we're taking it side to side. Except we have one by our hip and one cross body. See, torso movement is the same. The hand is just different. So this is waving hands in clouds, hand movement. I used to call it wave, but then I changed it to turn because it's more of a turn than a wave. So turn. Your hands are just going along for the ride. It's your body that's moving. So you can practice just this hand movement of waving hands in clouds. And there's a rhythm to it that's very relaxing. It's when we put it all together that sometimes it's overwhelming, but break it up into those 4 words. You remember we talked about that last week where we had this nice little Post-it note, and I told y'all, you choose what order you want it in. So you may like step first, but it's switch, step, turn, and then I wrote as I shift, but shift would be your 4th word. You can make it up what words may work best for you, whether it's change hands or switch hands. You know, it doesn't matter as long as you're doing it right. What words just speak to you? So whenever we come in from single whip, we step right, switch our hands, turn to the right, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Come to the middle for open and close. Now let's wave hands and clouds to the left. So we step out left, switch hands, turn, shift, step, switch, 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 turn to the middle for open and close. So that's our single whips from side to side. So let's put it together from the top, commencement all the way through. And commence. Come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring the hands down, right foot back, waving hands in clouds. Step right, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. One more, shift, step, switch, turn. Last time, shift, step, switch, turn. Good thing because I ran into a wall. Open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Yours should look a little different than mine. Shift right, bring those hands down. Let's wave hands and clouds to the left. Step left, change hands, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Last time, shift, step, switch, turn to the middle for open and close. So pick a piece for you to practice this week, any of those parts, and just practice and you'll be better for it. So I'm going to go through those moves again, but this time I'm going to be quiet and then we'll cool down. But this will give you an experience. And if you want to rewind it and rewatch this part and just practice with this part, then you can. Or you can do the tutorial video of Basic 6. All right, here we go from the top. I'm going to start over here this time because I don't want to run into the wall. And commence. Open and close. There you go. That's the basic 6. And so we'll stay practicing with that. And then we'll do more of that next week. I don't want to push you too hard, but I also want to be thinking about introducing you to our advanced 6. So here we're just giving ourselves a little fist massage, breaking up any soreness we have. Now let's gather tension and let it go. Gather and release. Gather and release. Big circle. One more. Now we have our right fist that represents our strength. Our left hand with our fingers together represents our friendship. Thumb in our humility. And we put those together in mutual respect and we say namaste.
Namaste.
Stay.
So thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. You let me know if you need anything in the meantime, okay?
Will do.
Okay.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you
See you
too.
next Tuesday.
Bye. Have a good
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye, everyone.